Hey, I'm Jessica Hampton, and I am going to teach you about lesson plans and teaching strategies. Our early preschool classes and up typically use teaching strategies online to create their lesson plans. So we're just going to kind of go over some of that today, and hopefully it will help you be better prepared and be a better teacher. So I am going to share my screen with you. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we should be all good. The first thing you're going to do is log into teachingstrategies.com. And then on the upper right-hand corner, you will see the login up here. Of course, there's lots of other great information on the Teaching Strategies website, but we're just going to go to login for right now. There's 3 different options you can choose from. We currently do not have Ready Rosie or Tadpoles that we're using. We are using My Teaching Strategies. So you're going to click on that. And then we're just going to put in our username and our password. Your username should be your first name with a period, and then your last name, and then your password. Your administrator should be having you all set up on teaching strategies. If you have any issues, let your team leader know, and we'll make sure that you get on there correctly. I'm going to take just a minute because mine is an administrator account. So it's going to take me a second, but I'm going to get over to a teacher account so that I can show you from the teacher point of view what we will be doing. Let's see here. Okay. We are going to use Miss Kaylee's account today. So as an administrator, I can go in and emulate any of the teachers. So this is what you will actually see as a teacher when you log in. So you can see in the upper right-hand corner, her class name is up there along with her initials, and then the number of any messages or notifications that she might have. If you scroll down, you'll see her plan for today, which they are doing the exercise study on investigation 4 and what jobs are related to exercise. For her choice time, she has her options and outdoor question of the day, Bible focus. And then you can scroll down and see any messages that she might have. And then to the right, they have some supporting documents, which are always great to check out. And there's also some great Facebook groups for users of teaching strategies. So definitely check those out as well. Miss Kaylee is a new teacher to our team. So we're just going to kind of check in and see how she's doing. Up here at the top, you will see a teach, assess, develop, report, and family tab, which are also correlated to your quick links tabs. So you also have your teach, your create and view plans, your assess, your add documentation. Also a part of your assessing would be viewing documentation. Taking a course or develop is for you. That's your professional development side. Teaching Strategies offers a couple of free courses to kind of give you a better hang of what's happening in this program, but also some great resources on there too. I highly recommend checking that out just so you get a better feel of what to do. And then you can view documentation, that would be your reports. And then you can share activities with families, and that's always fun. Families always like to see what their kids are doing, and then other resources, you can share different resources and stuff with them as well. So today we're going to go on the Teach tab, and we can either get there by clicking the Teach book up top or the Create and View Plans. We're just going to click on that. And you'll see on the left-hand side that we'll have some menu options. And the first thing we're going to do, look at Miss Kaylee go. The first thing we are going to do is we're going to need to put in our studies. So we're going to go down here where she might not have anything yet. Let's go down to March. Okay. So to find out what study we are on, we're going to want to access our teacher planner. And I printed mine off. I like to have things handy. You can also download it to your GoodNotes and use it on your iPad. However you work best, you can access it through Google Drive. So I am just going to pull that over here for just a second and interrupt our screen share with another tab so that you can learn how to get to your Google Drive so you can find these resources. So when you log into your work email, on the top right-hand corner, you'll see these 9 little dots. You're going to want to click on those. And then you can see different options you have here to access things. Yours may look a little different than mine. I may have added different things than you will, but you're going to click Drive. Okay. And then your drive is going to come up. Now it does have like your suggested that you access a lot. Also different files kind of pop up, but I color coordinate mine because that's what I like to do. These are a little uncoordinated as much as I like them right now. But everybody has access to this folder, and it's the school folder, and you'll find it in your drive. So you just want to click on that. And then when you get in there, you will see classrooms, office forms, staff news, calendars, field trips, curriculum, and teaching resources. Yours may not be color coded like mine are, but feel free to color code them if you're like me. I did put numbers in front of them to help that make it easier for you. So to access our teacher planner, I believe, yep, we're going to click folder 4, calendars. We actually have the school calendar in here for the school year. We have the teacher planner from last year, and then we have the teacher planner from this year. And you can double click on that. And it will come up as a slide, like a Google Slides presentation. And if you're going to print something like this, don't print the whole thing to the school printer. It's a lot of pages. Print what you need. Also, if you're using it in GoodNotes, I downloaded the whole thing to my GoodNotes, but you can delete what pages you're not going to use or don't need. It's got your school calendar, your schedules, things like that. And just what's going on for the month. So you now know how to access that. Perfect. We're going to just go back over to our teaching strategies. And by looking at all of my information, I can tell that on March 7th, we are going to be doing a new study. So I'm going to click on month, which is up here at the top. And we're going to click add a study. Actually, we want to get to March first. So we're going to add a study. And we know we want to start it on March 7th because that's what our information told us. So then this is all of the teaching studies that you have access to on here. So our study that we are supposed to add is making music. So we're just going to click on making music. And it says, please confirm your choice. And we're going to click OK. Yes, that is what we want to add in. And amazingly enough, all of this gets added in for us. It's fantastic. So we're just going to check in our planner and make sure that we have the right dates for everything and nothing is interrupting our study. With this study, we actually have it ending on the 22nd. And as you can tell, we do not have it ending on the 22nd on our monthly view. So I'm going to go back in and see if there's anything that might be in the way or if there's some other event that's going on my planner to see if I need to extend it or how that's supposed to work. So I can see on the planner that April 4th is the week of NACCE, week of the young child. So if I put that in here, that will push my study down to end it on time on the 22nd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify days. I'm just going to click that on the left-hand side and click modify days on the 4th because we know that's where it is. And then it wants to know why. What's your modification? Is it a field trip? Is it a snow day? Are you closed? What's your modification? So we're just going to put in NACCE, week of the young child. And then we know that it's supposed to last the Monday through Friday, 5 days. If you haven't done NACCE, week of the young child, it's a lot of fun. All the NACCE programs do it, and there's different activities to do with the kids each day. But it's just a lot of fun. You can click on the check mark if you want that to stay the week of April 4th, or you can unclick the check mark if it just needs to flow with your curriculum. But we want it to stay the week of April 4th, even if we edit something in front of it. So we're going to keep that check mark there and confirm. Voila. Now we have that entered. And our study is ending on time. Perfect. So you do the same thing with each study. Now, we're going to go to the week and actually look into our studies. Okay. Perfect. So this was the beginning of our study, and all of this information was entered for us already. Okay. Which is fantastic. So we've got everything entered in there already. So now we just need to edit our lesson plan. So the first thing that I do when I'm editing my lesson plan is I look at choice time. Choice time usually comes with just one activity each day from teaching strategies. Sometimes it'll have two, but most of the time it's just one. Well, for it to be a choice, you need to have at least two activities. So the first thing I'm going to do on choice time is I'm going to click that first one and I'm going to edit it. So I just click on it to edit it. And I'm going to make a second activity because to have a choice, we have to have at least two. So first we have music and movement, collection of homemade and standard instruments. If I am doing that on one end of my room, I'm probably going to want to do a different type of activity, maybe a quieter activity on the other side of the room so that the activities are more spread out across the classroom and not everybody is bunched on the same side of the room. I'm also going to want to do maybe not library, because could you imagine trying to read a book when somebody's banging a tambourine? It would be a little hard. So I'm going to pick sensory. It's more of, oh, and maybe put it in correctly. More of a hands-on activity that you could do on the other side of the room. And for sensory, since we're talking about music and instruments, we are going to make our own instruments out of Play-Doh. Okay, and then I just want to edit this so that it will look like the other one up there. Everything looks nice and cute and the same. Perfect. And I'm going to save it. So now I have 2 choices for choice time. You need a minimum of 2 choices. Notice also how whatever I added, I brought back to the main theme, which was music. And so anytime you're editing or creating your lesson plan, you need to stick with the same focus. Your lesson plan shouldn't be all over the place because your investigation is music, so it needs to relate to music. Okay, so then we're going to scroll down. And then we're going to do our small group. And for small group, you're going to just click on this little arrow. And it'll give you a couple of different options. You click 1, read it, click 2, read it, and decide which one's going to work best for your class. You will do one of the 2 options in your small groups. And then you also have the kids that you'll check mark. If we're doing this on Monday and I know that, let's say Tariq doesn't come on Monday and Grayson doesn't come on Monday, then I'm going to unclick them and try to get to the other kids if I can. If I can't, then I can't. Or maybe I just want to work with just 3 kids that day. So I'll just click the 3 that I think I need to work with. But it's going to tell you exactly what to ask the children and talk about in that square. Okay, and then you can go on to another one if they're doing great at that too. So you're just going to take notes by yourself on what they can do. And the kids don't even know they're being assessed. So don't wait for the very last minute to assess children. This is something you should be doing all school year long. You're just gathering information as you do activities with them. It shouldn't be like a test type of thing. So then we're just going to add that to the plan. Okay, so we've picked that. Now, the other thing is when we do small groups at Imagination Station, we do them as our learning time. So we never do where the whole class sits down and does the same activity, ever. Instead, we do all of our learning time as small groups. So I may have 3 kids with me learning how to write their name. Excuse me. Well, I have another group over here doing dramatic play, and they are creating a store and buying and purchasing musical instruments. And then I have another group of 3 or 4 children over here that is in the block area, and they are building musical instruments. And so I've printed off different types of pictures for them to look at and how to build instruments. And then I have the group with me. If you have 2 teachers, 1 teacher should be with each group and divide it yourselves up. So that is how we do teaching in the classroom. Never all together, more 1-on-3, 1-on-2 kind of groups. So that doesn't show that right now on our lesson plan. So we need to add more small groups. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right up here on the left-hand side. We're going to do add activity. Okay, and we want to add an activity to every day because we know we need more small group activities. So you can pick activities, you can pick Mighty Minutes, you can pick intentional teaching experiences, and you can explore those on your own, or you can do what I was talking about and pick dramatic play. Purchasing instruments in our music shop. And then I can write my details in here. You can also select activities from your activity library, make sure you check mark down here to save this to your library so that next time it is in your activity library. You can pick your objectives and dimensions that you want to work on. Interacts with peers, perfect. And then I'm just going to add to plan. Okay, now because I picked all 5 days, that is actually going to add that activity to all 5 days. But we never want to do the same activity 5 days in a row. That seems a little redundant, right? So if we want to edit an activity, what do? We just click on it and it'll pop up and we can change the activity and create it to be something else, right? I'm going to cancel that for now. And we're going to need another small group activity because 2 is not really enough to have small groups. You need about 3 or 4. And so we're going to add one more and then we'll go through and edit as we go through the days. So we're just going to do blocks. And we're going to do build musical instruments. Okay, and then we can write our details. We can select objectives, or we can write in an Indiana Academic Foundation. However we want to do that. And then we will save it to the library, almost forgot, and then add to plan. Okay, so now that is now on all 5 days as well, and we will need to edit that each day to make it something different. But what we're going to do is, I don't like that my small group activity is up here and 2 of my other small group activities are down here. And they're the same day. So we're going to move them. So over here on the left-hand side, there's a move and copy activity situation going on. So you're just going to grab that activity and slide it up to small group. And I apologize. I realize I did not change that to small group. It says choice time right now. I will show you how you can change that. And you're going to do that for each day. Just so that you have your things together. If you're like me, I really like everything that I do for the day to be in order. So I really make sure that like mine goes by my schedule so that I can go through and cross off everything as I go. And it's just kind of boom, boom, boom in order. That's just how I function. It makes it really easy. So we're going to save that because we now have those in order. And we're going to click on that and go in and edit it to be small group because I could have done that when we created it and I did not. But that'll make more sense if we do. Especially for Miss Kaylee someday when she gets there. So let's look at Monday because that's all connecting now. So now we have 3 different small groups that are going on Monday and that's all set. Okay. So then we're going to go on to our Bible focus. Well, every lesson plan has to have Bible, right? But where do you find Bible? Because Bible's not really a teaching strategies curricula. So we need to find it. Guess where? I'm gonna just bring on over my Google Drive real quick. And we will click back on the school. And then we have our same 7 folders. And we're going to go to folder 6, curriculum. And then we are going to click on folder 1, which is Bible. And if we're new, our team can let us know which Bible one we are on. Otherwise, we should be going in order. But we'll just click on week 20, per se, for this thing. Okay, so then week 20 is going to give you a memory verse, a story, a visual, an activity, and digging deeper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days of activities to do for Bible. So I like a good copy and paste kind of situation for myself. But what I would do, oh no, is if my mouse wanted to cooperate, I would copy and then go back to my teaching strategies. And so for Bible on Monday, I'm going to click on that because I want to edit it. It's making me select all 5. I'm not really sure why, but it shouldn't be a big deal because we can always go in and edit them after this. So my activity is going to be for Bible on Monday. We're going to do the memory verse. And then I'm just going to paste that right in there so we know exactly what it is. And I can save that and add it to plan. So now my Bible is in there. So it did have me click all 5, not sure why, but it's not that big of a deal because then I can click on Tuesday and bring it up and edit it. So then I can go back to my Bible and if only this wanted to cooperate. Oops. And then we can edit it and do story. Excuse me. So you have 5 different activities, 5 different days, and you're just writing down each one. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So then we're scrolling down and we have all of the same things. I will say that I always read through my family partnerships and my WOW experiences just to make sure they line up with what we can do at the school. Sometimes they get a little out there, but like right now we're dealing with COVID, so families can't come into the school. So you want to make sure that it doesn't say like invite families into the school to do this. Well, you know you're not going to do that because you're not allowed. So never put anything on your lesson plan that you're not allowed to do, because that's crazy and it's misleading. And so we only want things to be on our lesson plan that we're clearly communicating that you are planning to do those things. So you want to make sure that they do say what you are planning to do. So there might be a time where you need to edit those and you would just click on it, edit what you need to, and then save it. Questions of the day. I like to, if it's like, which instrument would you like to play? Offer 3 choices. I would print out and laminate 3 different choices of instruments and have the kids vote on which one they like the best. Morning meeting, I would be putting in here what my plan was for the day, what letter of the week are we working on, how high are we counting, what colors are we doing in Spanish, and then our typical things, alphabet, zoophonics, things that we regularly do. So that would be it. And then when you are all done with your lesson plan, and it's really not as hard as people make it, it can be really quick once you get the hang of it. When you're all done, you are going to submit it. So over here on the left-hand side, there's lots of options to help you move around. You can share your lesson plan with families, which is always awesome, especially when they can't get in to the building. They still get to see what you're doing. And I love that feature. There's also a lot of other activities and things you can share with families through teaching strategies, but you're going to want to submit your weekly lesson plan. So I think it's important to always title it with your classroom and then what days it is. So this would be for March 7th through 11th. That's what I meant. 2022. And then you're just going to click on your administrator for approval. And then on here, I'm just going to put this to test, maybe, so that I know that Kaylee is not actually sending this to me, and hit submit. So make sure you submit your lesson plan. It's important to do that because you need people to hold you accountable and that you're actually teaching what you put on the lesson plan. That's extremely important because you are molding young minds, and we want to help make you a better teacher. So we might have some encouraging notes or ideas to give you. So every once in a while, you might get some feedback, who knows? And then you can print your lesson plan. And so you can check off anything that you need to, but submit for the printer. And you're going to want to print, it's double-sided, so you want to make sure it's two-sided when you print it. You're going to want to make sure to print one copy to post outside of your classroom door, and one copy to have with you inside the classroom, so you can actually be checking off what you have been teaching the children and making sure that you are hitting everything that you are supposed to be that week. Again, extremely important that you teach what is on your lesson plan. That is pretty much it as far as this side of teaching strategies goes and lesson plans for early preschool and up. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at jhampton@isindy.com or talk with your team leaders. They're team leaders because they're awesome teachers and great examples. So feel free to ask them questions. They have to do the same things that you do. And so they're there to help you. So I know that they will be great resources to all of you. So that is it from me. So thank you guys so much for everything, and you're just amazing, and I appreciate you. And let's just end it here. And if you have questions, let me know. I would be happy to help. Have a great day.